the foundation, after the foundation stage, you should call for inspection. They will come and see that there should not be any violation in the setbacks. So if anything goes wrong, they will simply wash their hands off. We will be at the mercy of the of the law authorities. The government will not come and verify all these things because they trust the architects. They say they will come for, and after getting the online approval, you can start constructing the building also. See how that regulation, they will not have mentioned all the rules. They simply say developments in this area shall be regulated with reference to the, sorry, if you're building 6,000 square meters FSI, then for the remaining 2,000 square meters, you'll have to pay the guideline value to the government. That's what is called as shelter charges. School, for every 6 classrooms, you should have one staircase. For every 22.5 meters, there should be a private staircase. If it's more than 3,000, the 10% of the land has to be given, handed over to the government. If you're not able to do that, then that amount of money can be given. People give money and then they build more buildings, and the whole city is becoming concrete jungle. We should not allow that. You should make sure that the building is constructed as per your drawings, which has followed all the rules and regulations. Tomorrow there is no problem to anyone. The most important responsibility vested on us is trust and verify method. Recently introduced on us. Trust and verify is they trust us. Take 2 times is FSI for any building, and in places in CRZ zones like Neelangarai, Kottivakam, Palakamada, FSI is only one. This you have to make a note of it. Premium FSI you can go when the road width. So this you will have to keep into account. And then another important thing is inspection. Inspection we can see. Inspection is they will come for normally they say the foundation, after the foundation stage, you should call for inspection. They will come and see that there should not be any violation in the setbacks. When you leave the setbacks in the approval plan, there should not be any violations. If they come and see the violation, then you will not be allowed to proceed further. So after completion of the plan stage, they'll come. Then after the completion of the first floor, second floor, or after completion of building, they'll come. But this is not for G for 3 units. If you have only 3 units, or if for individual house, they will not come. But if it's more than where the completion certificate is required, inspection is must. They'll have to come and see this thing. So that's why tomorrow when the building is getting stopped by the authority, then the client will blame you. The client will tell you that, sir, you're not guided me right. I don't know. He will simply say that that's what the CMD member secretary also says. The client says, sir, I tested the architect. I gave the full responsibility to him. I don't know the rules and the regulations. He has only advised me. So if anything goes wrong, they will simply wash their hands off. We will be at the mercy of the of the law authorities. So you should not only be an expert in the rules, you should also tell the client or the contractor. The contractor will say, sir, 2 feet நம்ம அந்த அதிகம் கட்டணும் யாரும் பார்க்க மாட்டாங்க. பக்கத்து வீட்டில் 2 அடி அதிகம் கட்டிருக்காங்க. நம்ம ஏன் ஒரு 2 அடி விட்டு கட்டணும் அப்படின்னு. But all these things will lead to problems. You have to put your foot down and say firmly that no, I cannot sign. This cannot you go as per approved actually. This the architects have to be really careful in that during progress of construction. See, this is the plinth story. They will come, and the last story they will come for the inspection. That's it. Yeah, demolition. If there's any building existing in the site, then you'll have to make a demolition plan. Sometimes the old building will be demolished and the new building will be constructed. The old building has to be demolished. You have to make a demolition plan and approve to the and make an application to the corporation, pay the demolition fees. The corporation will take an undertaking from the architect, from the owner, saying that during demolition they have to be careful. They should not disturb the other buildings. They'll take an undertaking because while demolition, the building might fall on the neighbor house. While digging in the old building, the neighbor's house might get damaged. So they will take an undertaking from the architect or the owner, saying that there will be minimum disturbance for the neighbor building. If anything happens to the neighbor buildings, he will alter it at his own at his own cost. After giving the undertaking deed only, you can apply. You can put the demolition plan plus also approval plan same drawing. Demolition drawing plus approval drawing also. You can get it done. But all these things can be done by you. But demolition means what is the extent of the area, like how many floors the building has, what building it is, RCC roof or Madastas roof. All these things we have to attach the photographs. And then here, the latest advantage is the trust and verify method. Now, our MSCMDA, over a lot of experience, they said that we will trust the architects. We will trust. We will trust. We will like the moment when you apply for planning permission, we will give approval. We will give approval. That's what the MS Mr. Anshul Mishra IAS he told recently. Trust and verify method. We trust the architects. You apply for the planning permission. You apply for the building permission. You apply it online. Then you yourself certify the road width. We trust the architects. Whatever the road width, if the road width is 30 feet, you measure and you certify. You certify the measurements of the plot. This much the plot measures. There is no like burial ground nearby. There is no overhead like whatever is given there. There is no overhead electrical wires nearby. There is no water body nearby. It's away from the water body. The road width is the same, and the access is right. All these things you have to fill the form, make it, and then you can certify with the council number. So the government will not come and verify all these things because they trust the architects. They say they will come for, and after getting the online approval, you can start constructing the building also. So this responsibility, I mean, we are given this responsibility by CMDA, but then they'll come for random checkup. For example, if they 8 approvals, they may check up like they may come for a random check. They will check like one approval. If there's any deviation, then the architect will be caught. That's what the MSCMD is very proactive. What he says is just because one person is making now, we cannot make the other 10 persons wait. So if 11 persons are applying, if 10 persons are genuinely applying, then for the one person who is going to violate, we are holding everyone to wait. We are telling you to wait. No, we will come for inspection. We will check. We will not depend upon you. We will come and check the site measurements. We will come and take the road measurement. So all these things take a lot of time, lot of money. For they don't CMD or DTCP, they don't have persons also, and we have to be at the mercy. We will call them anytime, but they will not come to site. So all these things happening. So the MS is saying we trust the architects. You trust and verify. You just go ahead. But tomorrow when you come for a surprise inspection, if there's anything what your fault is certified, then you'll be held responsible. So your biggest responsibility is entrusted on the young architects, and we have to do justice to that. This is not very good. Whatever is not there, even if the client tells you to sign, don't sign. Tomorrow you will get into problems. This is not the most important thing. What I like to mention here at this particular point. And all the rules are quite familiar only. Yeah, an architect should be construction permit, and then like your building permit when you get it is valid for 5 years. I mean, up to 5 years you can the building permission valid. If it's getting lapsed, then you can extend for another 3 years by paying some extra money. Okay. Yeah, this development regulations, you can read all these things like deconstruction rate, spaces excluded from FSC coverage. This is one of the conservation of building. See, coastal zone regulation, CR30 areas. So you read this, like here, CR that regulation, they will not have mentioned all the rules. They simply say developments in this area shall be regulated with reference to the CR that classifications and regulation notified by the Government of India under Section 3 of Environment Protection Act. You please go to Section 3 of the Environment Protection Act 1986, Central Act 29, and then read the whole thing. Take a Xerox copy so that you will know what are the things what are the buildings rules and regulations which are permitted in CR zone. Similarly, conservation, transitory zone. Yeah. Boundaries are and is natural hazard prone. Next. Yeah, shelter charges is one of the most important thing, which you have to understand actually. So if you're building like group housing, or if the area is more than 4,000 square meters, 4,000 square meters means nearly 40,000 square feet, then 10% of the floor area has to be accommodated for the EWS, for the economically weaker section. The government is called, like in a group housing or in this will normally hold good for the promoters only. If more than 40,000 square feet you're building, then 4,000 square feet has to be allotted for the economically weaker section of people, where their area should not be more than 400 square feet, 40 square meter. If that is not possible, then you can pay the 1% guideline value of that area exceeding whatever up to 4,000 square meters. There's no need to pay. Suppose if the land is 6,000 square meters, sorry, if you're building 6,000 square meters FSI. Then for the remaining 2,000 square meters, you'll have to pay the guideline value to the government. That's what is called as shelter charges. Or alternatively, you can give a site. If that is also not possible, like within 2 kilometers, you can give an alternative site to the government to construct that low-income group housing. So these are the either you build the EWS housing in the apartment itself, like for the 10%, or you pay the money, or you give an alternative land. That is what is called as the shelter charges. Next, this will come only for the planning parameters. Yeah, and the planning parameters, like the minimum road width. You can also read all these things. It's quite easy only. See the number of dwelling units. Yeah. Like that, like a lot of things are there. I mean, you can just go through all this. Like the simple things to remember are, if you have a toilet, the toilet ventilation has to be minimum 5 square feet. I mean, like the ventilation area for toilet has to be minimum 5 square feet. If you're giving a open to sky from where your kitchen gets ventilation, or any study room gets ventilation, then the open shaft size should be minimum 1.5 meters by 2.5 meters. This is not for the toilet ducts. Toilet ducts can be smaller, but any OTS through which your bedroom or your kitchen gets ventilation, the minimum size has to be 1.5 meters by 2.5 meters. Toilet size to minimum has to be 6 feet by 4 feet. So like these are some of the riser. Riser should be minimum 15 centimeter. The tread should be minimum 25 centimeter. In public buildings, it has to be 300 mm. So like that, like a lot of the standards are given for the essential building. The corridor width can be minimum 0.9 meters. 0.9 meters, it can be there. For schools and all, it's entirely different. For school, for every 6 classrooms, you should have one staircase. For every 22.5 meters, there should be a private staircase. Each classroom should have double door. I think we will not go to schools and industries, it's a different aspect. But you should know the standards which are prescribed. For example, if you're building a house, parking is the most important thing. Up to 75 meters square, you can give only 2-wheeler parking. If you're building more than 70 meters square, then one car parking is must. If you're building as a 150 meters square, then you should give 2 car parking. So like that, and then like the 2-wheelers also. The car parking size you should know, 2.5 meters by 5 meters. If you're giving a Yale, inside the government has given relaxed the rules. So you can build stilt floor means it is not included in the FSA area. Still plus 2 floors, still plus 3 floors. Nowadays you have seen a lot of buildings, apartments being constructed on stilts. Still plus 3, still plus 4, still plus 4. So the stilt is entirely used for car parking. So for if the car is going inside, we call it as a Yale. Yale width should be minimum 4.5 meters, where the car is going, and then you can have perpendicular parking on both sides. Center Yale 4.5 meters width, 2 sides car parking, perpendicular parking. Car parking size should be 2.2 meters by 5 meters. So you should know all the standards of how the car will turn, how the car will come back. Even the gates also. The number of gates should be not more than 2. In a plot, you can have only 1 entry and then 1 exit. But if the plot length is more, for every 50 meters, you can have 1 entry. If it's a corner plot, then you can have 1 entry and 1 road, and then another exit on the other road. The compound wall height should not be more than 6 meters. So all these things, you can read all these things, and make sure that. But definitely, it's not possible to have to know by heart all the rules. Take the rules book, keep on reading them, and then whenever any project comes, you can refer to the books. You can always refer to the books and come back to the client, like what you want to see. Here, if you're building an apartment, minimum 7.2 meters gap should be there for a vehicle access. For a fire engine to move, you should have 7.2 meters all around the building for the fire engine to move. So this is one of more, even in the case of mall or even in case of any like group housing developments, multi units. So this is one of the more. The fire tender movement is one of the most important thing in all the buildings. And high-rise buildings has got different rules altogether. Now coming to a single window system, like we mentioning about single window system means, like initially we were discussing about the, and before that, can we come to the OSR? OSR is an important thing which I'd like to say here. Yeah. OSR, Open Space Reservation System. If the land is less than 3,000 square meters, then there is no need to give any OSR. If the land is between 3,000 to 10,000 square meters, where you're building a group housing or a school or a college or a hospital or a commercial development, whatever it is, leaving the first 3,000 square meters, for the remaining 7,000 square meters, you have to leave 10% as OSR. Open space situation, you'll have to hand it over to the government, to the local body or to the panchayat. Then they will take care of it. They can make it as a park or a playground, whatever it is. No, because to have the open spaces inside the city. So from 3,000 to 10,000 square meters, if it's more than 3,000, the 10% of the land has to be given, handed over to the government. If you're not able to do that, then that amount of money can be given. That on the guideline value, 10% can be given. Recently, in the Times of India, also some person has objected. No, this should not be the case. People give money and then they build more buildings, and the whole city is becoming concrete jungle. We should not allow that. The main purpose of OSR is to have a lot of green areas. When we are densely building, when city is getting rapidly urbanized, we should have a lot of green areas for the citizens' well-being. But then, if you take money from the builders instead of leaving the open space, then it's not going to serve the purpose. It's again going to become concrete jungle only. The article has come up in the 2 or 3 days back in the Times of India. So if it is more than 10,000 square meters, you have to leave 10%. There's no other way. You cannot give, you cannot pay the money to the government. The guideline value. Come to the next point with C. C is, if it's above 10,000 square meters, 10% area has to be given to the government. You cannot. So this is called open space reservation, which we'll have to, and the OSR has to abut the main road. This is also one of the most important things. OSR cannot leave it inside. It has to abut the main road. For example, like here they say it's about 10,000 square meters. The minimum OSR has to be 500 square meters. The minimum area. If it's less than 10,000 square meters, should be minimum 100 square meters. This you can read all these things. You can do like once you know the meaning of things, and rainwater harvesting. See, this is what I'm telling. The corridor width for residential building 1 meter, assembly building like Kalayamandam 2 meters, institutional building 2 meters, hospital is more 2.4 meters. Hospital you have to take the stretcher, you have to take the wheelchair, then turn. So 2.4 meters is the must. So all these things you have to be familiar with. Tomorrow, tomorrow when you design the building, you cannot tell the authorities that sorry, sir, I'm not aware of the rules and regulations. Like that is why I build. Let's see, even in the 2 meters, it has to be clear. The column cannot protrude onto the corridor. So that's why all these things we have to educate the clients. The client will say, "Sir, you already இடம் வர்றீங்க. எனக்கு ஸ்கூல்ல நீங்க already built நீங்க 5 அடி விட்டா போதும்." But you have to insist the client, you will not get approved. You will not get approved. Tomorrow when come for inspection, your building will not get approved even from the statutory authorities also. Fire NOC. The fire NOC for school building, you have to get the fire for school building, institution for hospitals and all, you have to get an NOC from the fire. Tomorrow, when you don't follow these rules, the fire person will not come and give the provision certificate. So you cannot open the building. So ultimately, an architect should be aware of all these rules, the planning permission, so that all these things are followed in the plan. You should make sure that the building is constructed as per your drawings, which has followed all the rules and regulations. Tomorrow there is no problem to anyone. So this is the most important thing. Finally, I like to come to the single window system. The most important responsibility vested on us is trust and verify method. Recently introduced on us. Trust and verify is they trust us. So you can whatever you say, you'll be agreed by the authorities. The single window system is not here. I just explained to you. A single window. These are some of the examples we will just keep in the last. Single window system means you'll have to get the NOC from so many departments. Suppose if you're building a school, you'll have to get an NOC from the fire department. So the fire department is one of the must. So, and if the school lies but like very close to the railway line, you have to get an NOC from the railway line people, like railway authority. If you go to the normally like what has happened now is they have given the responsibility to the architects to apply for the NOC from different departments. There has been considerable delay. You cannot get an NOC from the railway. You have to run from pillar to post. You cannot get the NOC from the fire department. Again, you have to go from again you have to go from pillar to post. So like what the CMD has done now is you apply for planning permission. They are trying to link. They're trying to link all the departments. Like what are the departments? Department of Fire and Rescue Services, Police, Airports Authority, Indian Air Force, Chennai Metro Rail Limited, Public Works Department, Southern Railway, Architecture Society of India, National Monument Authority, Tamil Nadu Coastal Zone Management. So they have nearly 21 departments. So if but like whatever you like building you do certain NOCs like you'll have to get from